Hey everyone, LazyFire here. Welcome back to Steamworld Dig. Fuck. Within 4 seconds of starting, I've already fucked myself. Cool. Anyways, thanks for coming back through episode 2 of this series where I completely screw myself over constantly and irrevocably. We've picked up the bronze pickaxe as well as running move last time. Really suggest you just watch the previous episode, it'll make a lot more sense. And now we're going to continue on our way down through the mine here. And we've already come up against more of me fucking myself over. What I'm going to try to do is, wherever I go, I want to find the fastest route through anything I do here, because it's going to be important. The faster I can get in and out of areas, the better it is. Well, both the viewer and myself. A little biased there. Alright. This is one of those cases where I am going to do something that looks stupid as hell, but it makes sense. I'm going to break this so I can't get at that ore. Those are spikes. Spikes are bad. Spikes are painful. At this point, I can't take very much pain. So we're going to avoid those by just making sure I can't hurt myself. Always the best option. So yeah, last time we got a couple upgrades, made it through the mine a little bit, and so we've seen kind of the bifurcated upgrade system that allows us to both purchase upgrades and earn them through gameplay. And, you know, not a bad system. Works out real well. If anything, it's pretty conventional. And we're already out of room. I need to go buy that big pouch, but I didn't have the money for it. I think we're actually pretty close, based on what I picked up. A lot of it was trash, but not bad. We're actually getting out of the trashium range. You can see there, I've only picked up 2 of them in this excursion. And once we're completely out of that area, it's just going to make no sense to go back and pick up any of this stuff, as I mentioned in the previous episode. So I am trying to be pretty thorough about my mining now, because it means faster upgrades. So until I get more upgrades, Dorothy, Cranky, everyone, they won't really say anything new. We're buying ladders. It's our first usable item. Ladders are great, especially in the early game. I could actually go and grab the aura that I left there near the spikes with the ladders I just picked up. I am not going to do that because it is a single steam-powered jump to get that. And you may be asking, well, what the hell is a steam-powered jump? Makes a lot of sense if I knew what it was. Yeah, I'll tell you later. You'll see. We're gonna keep going on this. That's oh. That was me screwing myself over there, if you're wondering. Make it. Yeah, we've isolated. Excellent. Yeah, those guys won't walk off edges. Yeah, once again, that's the spot where I could have just made it so I couldn't get this ore. This is a totally fine thing to do sometimes. And sometimes you have to get these stones moving if you want to get to the areas. So you just got to be smart about your mining options. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna suck. Okay. Yeah, if you're wondering, can you hit those guys across a gap? Yes. Oddly enough, there are certain enemies... come on. Oh, come on. There are certain enemies that are a bit more difficult to hit across that gap. So you gotta be a little careful about that. Not just take it as a foregone conclusion that you'll be able to hit someone across a small gap. I'm miscounting on a lot of these. No, good news. We're at our first teleporter. Which is great news, actually. Let's pop in there real quick. Alright, so we can buy them now, too. Yeah, so we're not gonna buy that at the moment. As a matter of fact, we can't buy anything from Cranky. But now we can just teleport down here. Bam. Makes everything that much easier. It's super useful. The teleporters are probably the greatest single upgrade that you're going to come across in this game, in my opinion. Or however much that matters. I am just busting through this right now because it's easy to dig through this stuff, and popping across gaps and everything is pretty easy. So, So, you know, if I'm not explaining anything, it's because I feel like it's self-explanatory at this point. Could have done without that. Could have done without that. Well, let's go use the teleporter. We fucking get there. Now you can't soft lock yourself in this game, which is good news because man, I got close there. Nope, nope, don't do the dumb thing. Don't do the dumb thing. There we go. Check that. You'll see if you drop a rock on your an exposed ore, it will crush the ore, and you won't be able to get it ever. It disappears. So that's why it was a dumb thing that I was considering, just like breaking it to get the ore free. Let's grab more stuff, and then you can see here we've got another area too. Excellent. Let's go grab our things. What? I just said I wasn't gonna fucking do that. I just said it. Oh well. Could be worse. How? But you know, I could find it. I could find this happen. Alright, so that's a full on everything right there. Now this game does actually have a couple of secret spots in it, and that's what I'm looking for there. I think this is actually the first one to get this secret location. And so we'll be finding that soon. Oh look, it's this guy. One of the more annoying enemies in this game. Because he can break stuff. He doesn't do a ton of damage. As a matter of fact, I'm far more likely to just tank that guy than I am to try to play his game. So be ready for some of that. But, new upgrade. Ooh, yeah, we get to see this briefly there. But if these guys walk into each other, they treat it like walking into an edge, and they will bounce off each other. We just got our steam jump, and of course, in true Metroidvania fashion, need to show it off before we can even get anywhere. And the game provides this really nice little pad to remind you, hey, use your steam jump. But also do it here, like that, and you see this, you can destroy these blocks. Now, at this point, your water resources are really limited, and basically, like, don't take a steam jump unless you can actually get more water immediately. This is a puzzle. I don't know. It's just supposed to be like, are you too dumb to live? Yes or no. Basically, process of elimination. Exit is actually up this way. But, paying attention. Well, it's not that valuable. And this is where I start to make these value judgments on, like, do I really... Yeah, I want to come back for that. Nope. I should have gone back up to the surface before I did this. This is getting... Alright. But, hey, teleport is right here. Pop into this thing. Sell my stuff. Close to more upgrades. Let's see what the saloon owner has to say. More cave exploration. And so that's kind of it. The game just gives you more direction to go, like, that way. Yeah, so we have to just claim all of the ore. Do this section real quick. Now, one of the things about the water values is that they do not refill after each one of your trips to the surface. You have to go find a water source each time you need to refill. Not a huge deal, really. There's enough of them by this point in the game that it's pretty easy. But at the same time, just annoying that you have to do it. I would have liked if there was just like a water source on the surface, but I guess it wouldn't really meet the Wild West theme that the game was going for. And we got it all. I mean, that's not a super important fact, but it's a good fact, because the more stuff I get now, the better off I am. That was disturbingly quick. So you see how they bounce off each other. Now that I have them in a larger area, I can actually, yeah, gang up on them a little bit. Not a bad thing. No, good there. That's our water source that we saw earlier when I fucked myself over by dropping a rock on an ore. So if we need water immediately, that's where we can go. Alright, fighting these guys in a small area just requires a little dedication and an admittance that you're going to take a couple of hits. Not the most fun thing to admit to. This, yep, that's our ticket back up top. Need that biggest pouch. You'll get a lot of pouch upgrades through this game. I think you max out at like 6 items, 7 items. I don't know, but it's a lot. first armor upgrade. Let's go talk to Cranky. Alright, so yeah, now that we have a few more orbs, we're gonna spend some money on that. Got a big pouch option. Thinking about it, yeah. So we just spent some orbs there to get that. That's not bad. That's gonna put us outside of the big tank. Not outside of the... No, it didn't. Interesting. Yeah. I don't need the armor right now, because all that does is add a heart. So I could definitely use the tank. Ooh. Let's not do that. Yeah, unless you need to, there's not really ever a good reason to go back in on that ladder once you started unlocking the other areas. Yeah, I thought there was stuff over here. Alright, so while you can use this to break stuff, limited options. Just wanted to show that off. The steam jump in and of itself is not that powerful a maneuver. You're just gonna have to use it as you can to break the very simple stuff, like that one where I abandoned earlier in the spike area. Which I'm probably not gonna go back and get, actually. I mean, I couldn't get it at this point. I could get it at this point. It's not worth it. As you can see, that upgrade is baller. It's just knocking these blocks out in just a couple hits. Now, if you look at the right side of the screen on the map, you can see actually how many hits your swings are expected to take before they break something. Which I think is a nice little, I don't want to say warning, but a note, a helpful hint to the player. You can kind of practice or predict what you can and can't do. Look at all that pouch space we have. Not bad. Picking up all of the stuff. This is what I was looking for. So a lot of the time you just want to like basically send out these sort of branch mines. So you can go left and right and pick up stuff and get a pretty good idea of what's in the area. For the most part, that is the right way to do this. Other times you'll just end up in situations where you're gonna like harm yourself by doing that. Right at another cave. How good's that? And this might actually be where we use our personal teleporter. I was almost 100% sure I was getting a bug dropped on me there. Almost outsmarted myself again. Alright, so we're actually going to go ahead and use this teleporter, plop it down. Sell our wares. Nice. And then you go back into the teleporter and it takes you to your last location. not bad. Those are spikes. Trying to remember which one of those was the health. So yeah, this is kind of where the game reminds you, hey, by the way, you can totally dig across gaps. It's nothing, like, the game doesn't explicitly tell you how to do some of the more advanced techniques like that, but at the same time, it lets you know you can. And that's all I got. So that's kind of your example of how to figure out if you can, or if you should. Oh boy. I was going to try to use that rock. I'll just let him do it. Yeah, but there's definitely cases like where you should not try to use those techniques to do stuff. But for the most part, they're just extremely useful and should always be your first option. And that's unbreakable. That rock above us there, you can't do anything with it right now. So don't worry about it. This is where you have to start getting brave, is the game will throw situations where if you want to get at the ore that you're digging towards, you're going to have to take a little bit of a risk. Because just like the bug bots that we've been murdering and dropping rocks on, if that rock hits us, we are instantly dead. It's, from what I hear, not a good thing. You don't really lose that much when you die in this game, which is good. But at the same time, you just don't want to take those deaths in what should be considered a children's game. But, you know. Oh, and this guy will totally walk down here. Eventually, he'll drop into that gap. Alright, well, that didn't quite pay out the way I thought it would. I was really hoping for some health there. May have to make our first attempt at a GoFundMe up at the surface and buy some health. Never not going to refer to it as that. It's like kind of a perfect parallel. Sell stuff to Dot so her dad can give you health care. What qualifies that guy as it? There we go. I didn't think I'd get to show off those bugs walking into spikes. But two shots. And because they took damage from an environmental object, they're going to drop that triple there. So it's always good to use that when you can. But because these guys don't respawn, not really much of a reason to keep that spike trap around unless I really wanted to see what would happen to my feet if I stepped on it. But no need to buy healthcare now. And a damaging pickaxe. That's useful. Teleporter. Leaves us just enough for this damaging pickaxe. And that means that we're going to be able to actually hurt the goddamned enemies, which is nice. And let's just drop it down and pick up that last bit there. But I feel like that should do it for this episode. We've made some significant progress into this mine. And, why am I still digging? What am I doing? Maybe I'll just make another trip. There's stuff here, and there's a teleporter 4 feet away. But yeah, we're starting to see a little bit more danger get infused into our escapades here. A little bit more stuff that's going to be damaging to us. A few more options on how to deal with it, whether it's a pressurized jump or a damaging pickaxe. Those are not going to be our last upgrades, obviously, and the damaging pickaxe, while it's nice right now, it's not really the be-all end-all on damaging items. So, let's pop. I almost jumped into that gap where the spikes were, thinking that was cool. That's why I take spikes out, because I'm sure it doesn't work sometimes. Anyways, let's drop this off Dorothy. And call it a game. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.